Welcome to CNN Headline News, Cox Local Edition. I'm Tanya Hindert with Cox Communications. It's my pleasure today to welcome Dr. Jack Dale, who is the superintendent of Fairfax County Public Schools. Welcome.
Thank you.
Dr. Dale, recently Fairfax County Public Schools has been in the news regarding your discipline policies and zero tolerance.
Right.
Could you please explain us the issue?
Sure. Well, first of all, we need to put it in the context of Virginia. Virginia, like many states, has what they call a zero tolerance, which especially for weapons, for drugs on campus, and some things for which you just don't want to have things on campus. And so there's state legislature involvement in some of that. But what we've done, or what we continue to do, is to say we do not tolerate guns or weapons or drugs or anything on campus. And as a consequence, then we are going to discipline students. And that's the issue. Some people will view zero tolerance as we kick kids out forever and we don't ever educate them, and that is not at all the case. What we tolerate is zero drugs and zero weapons and some other, anything that's over the prescription kind of drugs. And what we do for discipline is then wrestle with what's the best discipline for kids.
So could you please tell us, just walk us and let us know what happens when you find that a student is carrying illegal drugs?
Well, when they are carrying illegal drugs, what we do is first investigate the situation. Is this the first time offense, second time offense? Is it true? Because you have allegations at times. And then based on what happens with that particular investigation, then we'll go down different paths. For a repeat offender, we will, they actually quite often get involved in the court system. And so while we may discipline them, the police will actually probably incarcerate some children, and then we provide educational services in jail. Very, very small number. I think overall about 12 of our students throughout this last school year ended up not being provided educational services in one of our schools. Quite often if a student is caught with drugs on campus, or we will expel them from that particular school, but then place them in a different school to continue with their educational program.
So that's what happened when you expel a student?
Yeah, most all the time they're going to a different program, different circumstances, get a clean start, and then they can always petition to come back to their home school after a period of time they've proven themselves to be appropriately behaving themselves.
Is there any time that you really expel a student and they don't get any educational services?
It's really rare. The times that it occurs is probably when the police are involved, and then they're placed in the court system and juvenile justice system or something like that, for which for a period of time they may not get educational services. But even kids who are in jail, if you will, we will provide education. We or the county will provide educational services for them. So it's a rare case when kids are not continuing with their education in some way, shape, or form.
Oh, that's wonderful. I know that the budget is going to be coming out soon, and I know it has been a struggle for a long time with all the cuts that you're going to have to make. Can you give us a little glimpse? What are we?
Yeah, we advertised a budget which we think we'll be able to implement it, but it still results in probably close to 800 fewer positions. Now, some of those would have been new because we have about 5,000 more students than we did last year, or we will have 5,000 more students. And so we have to have additional positions for that, but that'll be part of our cutback. We will end up laying some people off, but it'll be a very small number. We've worked well with the county to try and mitigate that as much as possible, but our retirement rates are down about 25%. So the natural ability to fill through a normal attrition has really tightened up for us, and so we may end up having to lay some people off. We'll know in the next, by June 1st, we'll know through that domino process of placing people how many people we may end up having to lay off.
And can you please tell us just in terms of the number of students in the classroom, is that going to go up?
Yeah, we're going to have an increase in our class size over the last 2 years. It'll on average increase 1, but that'll mean some classes get into the mid-30s.
Thank you so much, Dr. Day, for joining us today. And thank you for being with us today at CNN Headline News, Cox Local Edition. I hope you have a wonderful day.